What up, Dokkanners? Welcome back to Zoomrami for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. KEFLA is dropping on JP next. I don't know. Sure. I'm not too excited about this. I am a global player, yes. However, I feel like this isn't the most hype announcement for a lot of people. The reason why I'm not particularly excited is because we just had the 6-year anniversary over on Global. So I'm feeling a little bit of that Universe Survival Saga fatigue, but I don't know about you JP players. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this initial gut reaction. And based on the small levels of feedback that I saw on Twitter when I was compiling everything to do this video, didn't really see much in terms of hype and excitement. It was just kind of like, okay. But I guess, you know, after the 350 million download celebration, there was only one way to go, and that's down, because there's no way you're topping that right away, right? Well, clearly you're not. So KEFLA is going to be the next unit for JP, and they are getting a new stage on the Dokkan event that currently exists in the game, which is this. And if you guys are familiar with this event, this is the event where you got the medals needed to awaken STR KEFLA, which we all can agree is one of the best units in the game. Sadly, this unit just did not land for a lot of people. A lot of misses on this unit's part, but hey, you know what? It's there. It is what it is. If we're getting a second KEFLA that can link with this one, maybe this one will become a lot better. But yeah, KEFLA is just not the unit that people prefer these days, because just not many good ones. So if this one is better, then that would be good. But it just seems so mistimed to have a Universe Survival Saga unit like this drop now. However, I will say that in their defense, it does make sense when juxtaposed with something else that's happening on Global. So if you guys didn't see my other video talking about what's happening on Global, Global got this little announcement. I think I did a video yesterday on it, just talking about what happened. How did you guys like the 350 million download? And the fact that we are getting giant ape power EZAs happening over on the Global side, starting from the 7th of October. So this is the point of divergence for Global and JP. We've already had the worldwide celebration where we're both together. Now we diverge a little bit, and then we will come back together for Dragon Ball Heroes in November. But until then, we have 1 month, which is about 2 celebrations worth of exclusive content for both Global and JP. Not exclusive in the sense that JP never got it, but just stuff that Globals get and then JP would get. And actually, you know, ironically, in this sense, Global is getting exclusive content for the first however many weeks or whatever until JP eventually gets it. We're getting 3 EZAs for Giant Ape Power, but more specifically, in this announcement, at the end, there was a very interesting little tidbit that they added, which is centered around Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku. So that's why I mentioned, or I talked about this, or I don't know if I did yet, but Truth tweeted this out, and this is actually what I was thinking about when I saw this and this. Because Blue Kaioken Goku is being announced or revealed at the New York Comic-Con as a figure where people can probably go purchase the product. That's going to be happening at the end of this week. So I guess in commemoration of this, Global gets a sticker and JP gets a Dokkan Fest that relates to it? I don't know. I don't know if this is pure coincidence or if this is indeed why they're doing this, but all I can tell you is that Global is not going to be getting any sort of an EZA for this guy. It just wouldn't make sense, especially after we just had Universe 7's, whole arc for the 6th year anniversary. Jumping back in right after one celebration just seems so out of place. If anything, it would be hilarious if JP gets the EZA first for a Global first unit. I think that would be absolutely spectacular and funny and ironic and just maddening. So I would love to see that, quite honestly. So if anything, JP would get a Blue Kaioken EZA of some kind, maybe, I don't know, maybe this leads to some other Dokkan Fest down the road. I don't know, but I just wanted to mention that real quick because on my last video where I talked about the Global side, I never mentioned Blue Kaioken, and it was for a specific reason. I just don't think that there's any reason to believe that Global will be getting that. We are going to be getting a Dokkan Festival, as it says right here. There will also be missions, login bonuses, a Dokkan Festival, but it's not going to be tied to this. I feel like this is all just happening in the moment. They're mentioning it on Global because Global will be getting this level of celebration. JP will be getting this level of celebration when it's in terms of how it relates to Blue Kaioken. That being said, let's talk about the rest of the things that I wanted to mention real quick. Number one, Universe Survival Saga. I mean, look at this. It's just like the most stacked category in Dokkan history. Do we really need more? This is kind of why I'm just not too excited about the unit. We've got so much already going on here. Throwing that in there just doesn't work. But I will say that with this unit, possibly would come some EZAs, most notably this one. If we were to get an EZA for physical KEFLA Super Saiyan 2, Potara would get a much-needed boost in the category department. Key plus 3, 160% would be very nice. I think that would be the only one on Potara. I think we only have like 2 leads, right? Yeah, well, okay, we have 3. This is a sub-lead, but we only have 2 leads. 150% across the board for this guy. Last Resort and Potara, Key plus 3, 150. This one is Potara, Key plus 3, 170% HP and attack, I think. And then defense is 130. Yep. So we only have those 2. So having a 160 in the form of the KEFLA would be pretty nice. So yeah, let's do that. Give this one an EZA, why don't you? If it's not this, then I guess they are going to really go back into Universe Survival Saga. They'll just jump to Universe 6 and do something in Universe 6. I saw Luca Dokkan, or was it Air Dokkan? One of these guys. They were mentioning, like, you know, we're going to get an EZA for these guys. Sure. Why not? If that's the direction they want to go, so be it. Look, JP had this stuff in January. So if JP gets it again at this time, yeah, it's kind of weird for Global to look at, but it makes sense for JP, I guess. They really want to harken down on the Universe Survival Saga and just fully flesh it out, I guess, before they move on to anything else. I don't know. I don't know what these guys are thinking. Now, I do want to talk about the timeline here, because the release, the projected release for KEFLA would probably be around this same time last year for Frieza. Frieza is, of course, a Universe 7 unit who covers categories that we already knew at the time. This was actually a really nice unit to have because it strengthened, I think Resurrected Warriors was like the main get here. But anyway, Frieza is directly tied to Universe 7. And a few months after this, we got the 6-year anniversary over on JP. Now, put on your tinfoil hats, people. If KEFLA, assuming, you know, the new KEFLA, not this one, but assuming a new Super Saiyan 2 KEFLA were to drop on October 5th-ish, could that mean that this KEFLA is going to be directly correlated to whatever the theme is for the 7-year anniversary? If you guys don't know, there is like an alternating schedule between the sequential arcs in the Dragon Ball timeline and Goku Vegeta-centric anniversaries, be it fusions, Super Saiyan forms, or whatnot. It's Goku Vegeta-centric or it's arcs. And so since we had Universe Survival Saga arc last year, or I guess, you know, for global players earlier this year, then the next anniversary would ideally be something Goku Vegeta-centric, which could mean fusions. And if Potara is involved, maybe it's Potara fusion. Maybe we're getting a Potara Vegito Blue. We do have a ton of Vegito Blues, sure, but it could be Vegito Blue because Potara. Or it could be the very concept of fusion. Maybe it's Gogeta Blue. We don't have a single Gogeta Blue in the game, like a one that starts off as Gogeta Blue. So maybe it's something like that. I don't know. But looking at the timeline, October 5th was Frieza for JP. Then it was Grade A Power in the form of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And then we got Heroes. So with that in mind, if JP is getting Super Saiyan 2 KEFLA as their first Divergent Dokkan Fest from Global, they would have one more after that, and then they would go into Heroes. Whereas Global will be having whatever this is to deal with, like the Grade A Power stuff, and the Dokkan Fest, whatever that is, some Global first of some kind. We'll also probably get Kid Gohan Heavenly Events. That'll probably happen first before this, but we'll see. KEFLA for JP, Kid Gohan for Global. This is peak Dokkan, people. No, it's not. This is weird. This is just weird. So that's pretty much all I have to say on the matter, folks. There's really not much else to look at. EZAs, all that stuff will be revealed in the next few days. We'll probably get, I think, the data download or something. I'm trying to learn the schedule for Dokkan's like information. I think they'll be dropping the data tomorrow for JP. So we'll have more information then. But until then, speculate away, people. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on all of this news. As a JP player, are you excited for KEFLA? As a global player, how do you feel about it? And as far as the Blue Kaioken nonsense, do you feel like there's going to be any sort of Blue Kaioken activity happening on the global side? Or is this going to be something on the JP side where they get some sort of a Blue Kaioken representation in some form or fashion? Let me know your thoughts on all of this and anything I missed in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again, stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.